Ladies and gentlemen, did a little hunting, got a little lucky, took out a couple of payrolls, took out a couple of trade ships, took one of the trade ships, I kept it with me, you can see it there. Knocked over a pirate, I forget which one. Uh, that guy, Leonie, however you say the name, this dude. Oh, sorry. I don't think this is a new cutscene.
Huh?
Yeah. Okay, anyways. We've got to defeat the chemtrails. So I had a thought. I don't know his name. Bob was his name. So I've hit that point. You know the point if you've played any games like this, especially Sid Meier games. I hit that point. I have currently hit that point. I'm already there. Where it's like, it's, you know, it's not like the game's bad, but I'm kind of ready to be done with it. And there's a specific reason this tends to show up in these type of games. So here's what happens. Games like this tend to only have so much depth to them. And without some kind of X factor, something that actually changes up the formula, you hit the point where you've seen everything. And you sort of start spinning your wheels a little bit as you stop caring about certain mechanics or you stop caring about certain aspects of the gameplay. And really, you're just trying to get to a specific point where you can say you completed the game, whether it's literally finishing the game or just a specific objective you're going for, which is kind of what I'm doing here. This is true for Civilization games or Master of Orion games or a lot of sandboxy games. You ever played the Mountain Blade series or whatever? A lot of people who play Minecraft run into this. Yeah, Total War runs into this very hard. Yeah, it hits a plateau, exactly. I usually divide these into early, mid, late. Early game is actually pretty strong in this game. Mid game is... Designing a strong early game and a strong mid game is pretty hard to do. I'd say this game did a really good job of both. By the time you hit the mid game, you know, the Caribbean is your oyster. You can do whatever the hell you want to, and there's plenty of things to do, plenty of directions to go in, plenty of guidance, plenty of quests, plenty of options. Cool. But it never develops past that point. Nothing really goes past the mid-game, and that's very common for games like these. I will use Civilization 2 as an excellent example, is because you hit a certain point in Civ 2 where you've done it. Everything else you're doing is just running out the clock, either to get to an ending or because you just don't feel like putting the game down yet. Alpha Centauri kind of had that, but Alpha Centauri also had really defined endpoints you could reach for that were designed to be got to earlier than your typical endgame, which I think was done as a response to this problem. Forgive me for focusing on 4X games in general, but 4X games have this problem in spades, and have since they first came out. The first 4X game I've ever played that actually makes a solid effort to combat this is Stellaris, which did so by adding specific types of events and triggers, as well as the late-game crises, mid-game crises, etc., which, you know, kind of pushes you out of that and actually adds whole new stuff to do in the late game. You know, a war in heaven isn't that fancy when you think about it, but it does completely change up the dynamic of a region of the galaxy and forces you to kind of adjust to that, right? So that's good. And I've noticed lately, like within the last 10 years or so, more and more of these large-scale strategy games are getting more competent with handling the late game. But this game came out in 2004. And we've kind of seen everything, like I said. And it doesn't help that most of the late game stuff in this game kind of sucks. Rescuing our family members, I've already given negatives for that. And going and exploring on land is probably the most boring aspect of this entire game. And all of that's on top of randomly spawning the dudes you need to talk to while progress blocking you in order to go find the map piece, which may or may not be the map piece that helps you to find the person. And there's other issues with the map piece as well. And by the way, all of that's mostly randomized. Like, it can pick all kinds of places on the map to drop any of these things. The Lost Cities, Montalbans. Cat, you okay? Montalban's fortress, as well as the locations of your family members. One second, please. My point is, I've kind of hit the late game. I've hit that plateau. So, like, I'm not what you'd call super concerned if we don't actually finish Yeah. I'm not super concerned if we don't finish, the main questy stuff. Because we kind of have seen the game. I'm kind of satisfied with the review as is. Speaking of which, make sure to get in your guess if you haven't. No, 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 no. Oh god, I almost just screwed over my entire save. I mean, I could have reloaded the save, and that's what I would have done, but yikes. Freaking me out there, game. Alright. So many guns. Oh my god, so many guns. I was debating trying to get a ship of the line, too, but honestly, I'm not sure I care enough to.
There's pet talks.
When in the lab.
Okay, so he's in Rio de la Hacha. I can afford that many. No, the ship of the line, requires very specific requirements to spawn it, which I don't actually remember off the top of my head. I'd have to look up a guide for it. It would involve doing stuff we haven't been setting up, which is why we'd have to start from fresh, which is why I'm not sure I care. I wouldn't mind getting a slightly better frigate. We're actually in just a bare-bones frigate right now. But at the same time, I'm not sure we need one. And again, I kind of want to get through this MSQE stuff, so I'm just going to focus on that for now. Military payroll. Where are you going? I don't even care. Give me your money. Just give me your money. I don't think I hit with a single one of those. And yeah, we have armor now. I forget where I even got that. And defeated. You see what I mean? Like, I'm not really soaking in the ambiance. It's just like, yep, give me your stuff. Let's go. Moving on. More money. Next. This is how I made so much money in such a short period of time during the lunch break, is I just smash over ship, smash over ship, smash over ship. You can really rapid fire these if you try. South. Interesting, Dakota. I'll have to put that in the watch later thing. Alright, where is this damn guy? Who is a thing? I mean, every one of those is a treasure galleon. The biggest haulers that exist. Okay, so the dude's not here, so let's see if we can get some news on where he actually is. I really hate these guys fleeing from me. Stop running from me. You're just slowing me down.
There's pet talks.
When in the lab.
Oh no, Montalban's ship is upgraded. He's heading towards Caracas. Okay. Well, let's head to Caracas. East, of course. It's always east. I almost wish there were cheats for this game. Like, full speed against the wind would be a cheat I would use. Just like, let's go. Come on. No, we're not attacking. It's just a trade galleon. They're not worth my time. Get out of here. Get out of here. I do like broadsides. Or yeah, or just a fast travel. Like, there's options here. No trade galleon. There's... Oh, it's way over there. Jeez. See, what I'd probably do is I'd probably have traditional broadsides. Well, I'm not sure if that's the right idea or not. I was thinking have, like, traditional broadsides and then maybe have something where you could have other options. Kit, for lack of a better way to put it. Utility stuff that you could do in combat. chains or hooks or, you know, guck that pauses them. Or what was that? That's a raider. Like I like, stay clear, you scurvy pirate. I'm like, really, dude? Let me make it clear exactly how this is gonna go, okay? Oh, there are cheats. I'm curious what there are. Honestly, I don't need the money, the pittance you're gonna give me, so you just get to die. Please, we surrender. For God's sakes, we surrender. Ah! I love it. Earlier I hit the powder magazine like 3 times in a row without meaning to. Now I can't do it when I'm trying to. Go down. Stay down. Still? Okay. Let me make this really clear what I want from you here. Fine, whatever. Take everything, let's go. No, I don't want to go south. I don't want to go south. Depends on the game, Caspian. Like, let me use an example. Oh my god, Arm Devil. You never put your donation the other day towards something, by the way. If you want to fix that. In FPS, like a Doom game or Wolfenstein game or Call of Duty, which has basically no guns or very, very basic guns, that's a negative because it's so much of the core, like, element of the game. However, to completely contradict what I just said, if one of those games has really, really good gun design, even though there's only like 5 or 6 guns, then that's not bad kit, right? It's kind of a judgment call, but there's definitely such a thing as too little kit when it comes to a lot of games. Think of an RTS where your faction has like 5 units and they don't really vary from each other. Or think of an RPG where you have, like, you can attack and you have 2 spells and that's it. Guys, could you please... Honk, honk! Get out of the road! I do not want to attack you. Go away! But you could steal my stuff. What is with you and me stealing your stuff? What's with you and not stealing my stuff? You're a pirate. Yeah, I'm a pirate with tons of money. Get out of my face. Not as much money as I want, but I still have a ton of money. Get out of my face. I have too big of a fleet. That's not the problem I'm running into here. Gosh. I'm also kind of trying to stay out here because I'm just waiting. In fact, let's pop a save. In case he goes flying by us. Never, Baronessa! These are my ships. Trade ships. Needs them. Baldur's Gate 3. Now, you haven't been here for a while, Arm Devil, so you probably don't actually know this, but you can put it towards 3 things. And I know what you're about to say, and I know what's about to come out of your fingertips. And you're going to be like, but I don't want to split it up. No. It's plural voting. You get to pick 3 things. All 3 things get the full donation. Where's this Yahoo? Is that him? Nope. What is that? Another trade galleon. It is true, Arm Devil. I've cursed you with democracy. For Super Earth! Sorry. Also, Sony sucks. Alright, let's see here. Another trade galleon. A lot of trade galleons down here. Oh, 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 oh! Nah, it's just regular old raiders. Damn, I got excited for a second. Let's put in a Karak. If we can reach it, Jesus, game! Okay. First and foremost, get rid of this stupid thing. I love democracy. I love the Republic. Now give me all your souls.
Pit toxin.
Don't you mean our loyalty? No. Bart Roberts is apparently over there. Good to know. Koro. I just passed Koro. God damn it. A lot of long games there, Armdo. Trying to coist me. I don't know how this works. But that's okay. So let me jot that down. Towards Cyberpunk. What? Punk. Rogue Trader. And what was the other one? Oh yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 again. You got it. Alright, where's Koro? Where's Koro? It's up there. I just passed this stupid thing. So I also just saved in case he's not up there. I know, that's the only reason I allowed it to be added, Armed Devil. I'm still charging double for it, though. Same thing with Baldur's Gate 3, actually. I understand that it's a different enough game to warrant a second playthrough, but it's still a second playthrough. So it costs twice as much. On the extremely unlikely chance we ever had a third playthrough, I would charge 3 times as much. Okay, so... Please go away, military payroll. You're not going to steal our money? No. Get out of my way. Oh, absolutely, Mr. Red. Yes, just go ahead and assassinate Mr. Red, please. Uh-huh. No, I don't care if you make it quick. You can drag it out. It's fine. It's fine. Huh?
Dead pit toxin.
Ugh. Get out of the way so I can ask these people something. What? You want to ask them a question? I'll kill you! Well, I don't know. If I charge 000... Maybe if they're like magnet mines, Dakota? Or homing mines? Or maybe they're mines that specifically home in on you if you use certain types of maneuvers or certain speeds. So going slowly through mines can, like, bypass them, you know? He set sail in the course of Santa Marta. He's just... I hate this man. I hate this man so much. And yeah, like different types of mines, absolutely. So he's... Oh wow, Kennex Scout. I mean, that makes sense. I've written a fanfic for Alpha Centauri. Yeah, Mass Effect would actually be automatically vetoed for an audit run because nothing's changed. There's no reason to warrant it. But on the off chance that we were actually to review a Mass Effect for a second time, it would be charged double. Maybe something that prevents the wind from operating in an area, Dakota? Like a chunk of magic that's like a magicite that's actually sucking in the wind magic that's keeping the area aloft. Something like that, maybe. I'm just spitballing. You can also do the opposite. Rather than just removing wind, you could add too much wind, making it much, much harder to navigate. Okay, so here's Santa Marta. You'll notice he's not here, because of course he isn't. So where is he now? I'm starting to get mad at this man. You see what I mean when I say, like, we've just kind of plateaued? I'm just chasing a guy. That's all I'm doing. And now he's left 19 days ago, straight west. We actually have plundered quite a few settlements. It's arguably not worth it long term. In fact, there's no arguably. It is 100% not worth it long term. You actually lose out on potential profit by doing so, which makes sense because it's very lucrative in the short term. If you can afford it, but it costs a huge amount of personnel to do it because you need tons and tons of troops to actually take a town. True, Shadow Machine, we could review the original Mass Effect 1, and I would charge double for that, even though it's an edition change. Okay, there's Nombre. Number of God? Is that what that place is called? Nombre de Dios? Okay, I'm about to lose a ship. That's cool. spill. There he is! Montalban! He turned around. Freaking finally. Oh, name of God. That makes even less sense. What's the name of your city? The name of God. So, yes, that's what I was asking. No, you're not listening. It's the name of God. Okay. So your city's name is God. You're not listening. Oh my gosh, my speed. That's probably enough crew. We should probably go ahead and board her now. Oh shoot. We can barely move. Okay. Okay, we're okay, we're okay. It's Montalban again. God! Nice shot. I might be too old for you, old man. But I have tons of gear on my behalf. So down you go, boy. Okay, so where's the second fragment? Ah! Okay, Blood Point. That might help. Except I don't know where that is at all. Because I'm missing the crucial bit of the map. Oh, that's frustrating. Ooh, we got a gunner. I didn't know there were any specialists we didn't have at this point. Oh, we're good. Nombre. It is name of God. You were right. Silly me. Thankfully, we had this battle right here, so we can just repair our ship. Boom, done. And repairs are free because we're a duke. Nice ship. Boom. Ooh. Okay, let's sell these guns. Whoop. Let's buy one of these guns. Really quick. Yeah, sure, whatever. Henry Morgan is on the Queen Anne's revenge, but... okay, whatever. Damn right, Arm Devil. Alright. So, let's pop a save. I'm gonna be stupid. I'm gonna dare to be stupid. Yeah, hence my comment, Kennex Cow. I don't know if that's a screw-up, or they just... maybe it was a different thing at a different point in time. Like, I don't know. It was Blood Point, right? Okay, I've already forgotten. Blood Point, yep, right there. Let's see if we can get lucky. I noticed that, Dakota, you know. I've also noticed it tends to happen when you get out to deep ocean, but only occasionally? I don't know. Oh yeah, speaking of which, I discovered something else very silly here. So there's one last source of rumors. It's pretty inconsistent. However, it is also completely free. The Jesuits will occasionally just be like, here you go. Okay, so if he gives you a mission, then you're screwed. But if he doesn't give you a mission, he'll give you a rumor. Apparently there was supposed to be a reputation with both the Indians and the Jesuits at some point in time, which is why items exist in the game to give you rep with both. They do nothing, that rep does not exist. Who is that? Captain Kidd! Oh, hey. I like killing pirates. I mean, defeating pirates. It's an adventure galley. Oh, you're just gonna try and ram me, aren't you? I'm just knock over a bunch of your crew there. Let me knock over even more of your crew. Let me knock over even more of your crew. I don't want to be too greedy, but I want to kill more of your crew. Just a few more, you know, just for funsies. Alright, Captain Kidd. What you got? Why was I up there? Foul play, sir. Bringing a gun to a sword fight. I bite my thumb at you, sir. Captain Kidd had 16,000 gold on him. I'll take it. Like, no complaints. Yes, every cutscene, to my knowledge, every cutscene in the game is skippable. Blood point. Let's put in for some repairs really quick. Repair, sell, repair, repair, repair. Trying very hard enough to sell my treasure galleons.
Dead pit talks.
Oh, all the time, Mr. Red. I do long projects regularly, you know me. Oh, I'm now the second most notorious pirate in the entire Spanish Main. Fear not, my lady. Here, just get rid of it. Just get rid of these. Okay. I'm not sure I can afford more crew. I could. I could afford 80 more crew. I did just get a chunk of change. Let's go ahead and get more crew.
Dead pit talks.
Oh wow, they've already got new stuff to say. So there are 2 pirates we haven't knocked over yet. Why, Baronessa? What possible point would there be in selling my fleet? Why do you keep wanting me to nerf myself? Oh, that's why. You want me to have hard mode. Well, screw you. I want to go finish the game. She is an agent of chaos. This is true. I mean, have you seen that outfit? My god. Sensible women would never wear that. I love how all my crew are unhappy, but like not mutinously unhappy. They're just unhappy. Who are you? Henry Morgan. No, wait. Okay, here we go. Let's just say, where are you going, buddy? Like, a large frigate. Might have to look into that one. Might take a large frigate. I'll have to see how much slower it is than my current ship. If you're wondering, I let those cutscenes play out in case there's anything different. It looks like none of the named pirates are different, though. Which is fine, I guess. Yeah. Oh well. He had... Wait for it. Wait for it. 31,400 gold on him. And a large frigate. Yeah, he was a successful pirate. So the large frigate can carry 10 more tons, which is nice. And for more stats, I'm gonna have to go hit the wiki.
Dead pet talks.
When in the lab.
Raimondo, who I still haven't found. Useful. I'll take more troops. I can take more troops. Alright, so let's grab a save. Since this has been lucrative enough, I think we're gonna codify this timeline. And let's go see the wiki. So let's see here. Okay. Looks like... Here we go. Large frigate. 50 more crew. 8 more cannons. 10 more cargo. And 4 more minimum crew. Interesting. So that is just a straight upgrade. It's not even slower. It's just a straight upgrade. One second. Yeah, I think that's going to be our new flagship. So, I'm not going to get rid of the Evo Iliani. I can't. Sentimental value. Well, I think we're going to switch over here to the large frigate. What do we name it, though? I also need to name our other treasure galleon. And since this is probably our end game ship, because the odds of me getting a ship of the line are pretty low, we could just call my new crab ship the Lore Runner. Actually, I like that. The Lore Runner. But what do we call this ship? Does anyone want to be a treasure galleon? Galleon. It's probably my last treasure galleon. The Laramont the Third. Oh, it looks like Caspian was 3. Probably von Falkenstein. So we'll call it the Caspian. Caspian Sea. That's appropriate. No, the Caspian Sea. There we go. What do you think? Oh yeah, look at that fleet. Okay, let's see if we can find Blood Point, shall we? There's Dagger Point. I don't really want to, Lord Hermon, so I'm going to go with no. Oh. Now that would make me very sad, von Falkenstein. Not a bad idea, though. No, I knew what you meant, Dakota. You notice I let it play rather than skip through it. Okay, what's that thing up there? Dagger Rock. Hang on. I'm looking for blood, right? Blood point. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not along this, which means it has to be along this somewhere. So remind me not to save anytime soon. So I can rewind in case it's not up here and I'm wasting my time. Hey, TSB. Be Sunday. No, don't attack. You're pathetic. You're weak. Have the Dutch been expanding? Well, no, they haven't, but I get what you mean. They have tons of small settlements over here for some reason. Let's ride the sea. Sails? Wind, which doesn't start with an S. For a minute here. Hang on, who's left? There's one pirate left. I'm not sure who it is. We can also visit our wife while we're here. I might do that. So right now we would need 476,000 gold to keep our crew happy. And to get them very happy, we would need 720-ish. Somewhere around there. I did notice on GameFAQs there's an entire guide just for getting a ship of the line, if I really end up caring. I'm not sure I'm going to, though. So let's go visit our wife. Okay, hang on. Okay, yeah. Let's empty some crap, get rid of our guns. Oh, how many? I don't know how many guns we need. I'll hold off on that. Any rumors? Not really.
When in the lab.
Yep, Raimondo is still out there. Wow, we're running out of rumors. Look at this. Oh, wait, I wanted to talk to my wife. Sorry, honey. Sorry. Hang on, let's cut the real music. Ugh, this better be a really good rumor.
Sonita?
I hate doing this. Like, I've gotten a lot more used to it, and the gear helps. But man, it takes forever to do, and it is extremely punishing. It is the only minigame of this game I did not give any positives to. If it was about half the length, it probably wouldn't bother me as much, I think. But, like, we're not done yet. Oh, I screwed up. Damn it! Oh, I screwed up twice! Ugh, okay. You'd better give me a good rumor for that. Whatever your name is, that I am married. He's traveling to Nombre de Dios. Okay. Well, Raimondo is still down there. Not a really useful rumor. I was kind of hoping for a map, because there are actually... you can get decent maps for her. For both of the both of the things I'm missing right now, which is the Montalban's fortress and the hidden islands. Speaking of, we're looking for Blood Point. If it's not here, I might reload. And by might, I mean I am going to reload. Yeah, I just have a really awful thought. Yeah, okay. Buxanita, Booberella. I don't know, and you'd think at some point he'd get tired of me constantly showing up and taking his stuff. Every time I take his ship, too, if you notice that. Every single time I take his ship and part of his crew and all of his treasure. He starts, like, he effectively starts from scratch each time. It's honestly kind of impressive in its own weird way. Imagine sailing up the coast of Mexico with this giant-ass fleet. Captain, what are we doing? We're looking for a place called Blood Point. How will we know? It'll be labeled on the map, obviously. God, nobody pays attention. I'm not seeing any landmarks at all up here. Are you seeing this? Oh, Blood Point. Blood Point. Okay. So Blood Point's right there. So if we land a bit south of it, let's get a secondary save. We'll put it down here. Yes, right here. Let's go straight west from here. That's not the button for yes. For some reason, they do this weird thing where sometimes yes is the top button, and sometimes yes is the bottom button. And I'll admit, I tend to not actually look, because I'm just looking for the top button. Okay. So there's a head. There's a city thing. I think that's it. I think that's it right there. This is it, Montalban. The final battle. You'll rue the day you decided to try and come after my family. Okay, so I happen to know where we're going to this. This is one of the reasons I have so many ships. Is because so many ships means so much crew. So much crew means a larger army. This is one of the only land battles in the game you cannot avoid if you want to engage in this. So, let's scooch over here. All right. I don't even know how many troops they have. I don't care. Look at this rogue fell here. So our first moves are going to be really boring. This is, I'd say opening rounds of chess, but actually the opening rounds of chess can be very, important. So this is not that. Opening rounds of checkers. There you go. Let's get into the foliage here. Hi, Czar. All right. Why are the Indians working for Montalban? Oh, it's the eugenics packs. Okay. Okay, those are archers. Which means I can kill their faces off. Like so. Get you into position. Skip you. Skip you. Let's get you as a body blocker. Let's scooch. Let's actually get you up on the hill up here. Yeah, there we go. I wasn't sure if that would give me the range, but it did. Do you have any idea who you're robbing here? You and your friends are dead. Sorry. Okay, so we'll get another group of body blockers up here. And ditto. Seriously, y'all are dead. I don't want to kill y'all. Really. So why don't you take the paycheck you already earned and go home? No? Okay. Hey, someone got it, Caspian. And that's why you're my final treasure ship. Alright, can I... Yeah, can I just... Yeah. Goodbye. So, Montalban, the time has come at last. The final confrontation from our hated arch-nemesis. And because he's genetically engineered, he has not aged a day. That's right. This is for my family! My name is Rodrigo Montoya. You are a master tactician, sir. Truly, I have done your family a terrible injustice. I give you 100,000 gold pieces, which are rightfully yours. Among... Do it. Among my crew are 8 specialists of extraordinary skill. Henceforth, they will serve you. I myself will serve as your cabin steward. What? Also, hold up. When did episode 3 come out? 2005? Okay. Okay, it was 2005. Damn. So that means episode 3 stole from this. Alright. Wow. Okay, so... Oh my god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. I can barely tell where I am. Okay, there we go, there we go. We're free! We're free! Okay, so hold up, hold up. So now I have, like, everything. Carpenter, sailmaker, cooper, gunner, surgeon, navigator, quartermaster, cook. I have avenged myself on Montalban, so that's done. I have all the specials. I have 400,000 gold now. My crew is still unhappy. Guys! We have the money of a small nation! Yeah, but we want more. Okay, whatever. Well, the best part is now I can start letting my crew size shrink a little bit. Because, I mean... The main thing I wanted the crew for was the event we just did. You've been at sea for 142 months. Yikes. Okay, so let's lock that in. Save. Yeah, no kidding. Now will I sell the ships? Yeah, I guess I could sell a ship. Maybe one ship. So let's go rescue our, I believe it's Ant? Is our next one to rescue? We should also get that. That's down there anyway. So now we have a 700,000 year trip to do. I'm barely joking. Like this, we're basically crossing the entire map going east. with no music. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, okay, okay.
The surgeon dressed his wounds. Benbow cried, Benbow cried. The surgeon dressed his wounds. Benbow cried. Let the cradle now in haste on the quarter deck be placed, that the enemy I may face till I die, till I die. Enemy I may face till I die, till I die.
This is a good point where the idea I had would come in. Like, okay, hey, I need to get from point A to point B, and I don't really want to do anything on the way there. Fade to black, fade in, we're there. Oh, you want to attack me? I was going to let you live. Now you're dead. Yeah, downtime mechanic is another excellent idea. Yeah, exactly, Arspers. I like Taquetta's idea, though. Like, scheduled shift takes this much time, you know, right? And then, like, that gives you so many time slots. And you could use those to try and do something. Wow, that sounds terrible, Mr. Red. I'm so sorry. Let's see if they have a free bit of tip for me while we're here. Meh. That's a no. I actually prefer green tea, but it just sounded like it was crappy green tea. I can do it. I can make it to Havana. Okay. Let's sell this stupid thing. I've changed my mind. I'm not selling anything. If I could bank my ships, I'd at least think. You are now the first most notorious pirate. Wow. There's one pirate left out there. I do want to kind of get my crew size down a bit. Yeah, there's only one of them left.
the morning. What will we do with the drunken sailor? What will we do with the drunken sailor? What will we do with the drunken sailor? Heard I in the morning.
I always assumed I'd like fruity teas, but reality has proven me wrong about that. I'm more interested in floral ones, apparently. Who knew?
Heard I in the morning. Put him in the scuppers with the hose pipe on him. Put him in the scuppers with the hose pipe on him. Put him in the scuppers with the hose pipe on him. Heard I in the morning. Way up she rises. Way up she rises. Way up she rises. Heard I in the morning. Put him in the brig until he's sober.
This is from Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Look.
Put him in the brig until he's sober. Heard I in the morning. Way up she rises. Way up she rises. Way up she rises. Heard I in the morning.
Yeah, there have very occasionally been some short sea shanties in game.
Dreamed a dream the other night. Lowlands away beyond.
Hit a quack.
My love, she came dressed all in white. Lowlands away. I dreamed my love came in my sleep. Lowlands away.
I don't know what that is, DeQuack, but I'm guessing no.
Her cheeks were wet, her eyes did weep. Lowlands away. She came to me at my bedside. Lowlands away, John, all dressed in white, like some
Hairs.
and bravely in her bosom fair.
Sell it to Ned.
A red, red rose my love did wear.
Okay, so we're now an admiral with the French.
She made no sound, no word she said. Lowlands away.
I don't know where Dinky Island is, Baronessa. It'd be interesting if you could, though.
Then I knew my love was dead. Then I awoke to hear the cry. Lowlands away, John.
While we're here.
Oh, watch on deck. Oh, watch ahoy.
Sorry, guys, but, you're all dead. We totally got you. Do you really think that? Do you know who I am? I'm the most notorious pirate in the entire seas. I don't even want your ship. Scuttler.
Get some sail upon her. Haul away your halyards. Haul away your halyards.
I can't bring myself to shrink my fleet. I can't do it. We have saved our Uncle Mook, and we took out Montalban. We're currently on the trail of the last of the pirates, and we're going after our aunt. I believe you're limited to 5 additional ships. Don't quote me on that, though. So we might actually be capped.
Waves are surging under. All the way down.
Who's the last pirate? Oh god. What is his name?
On the east.
Oh, I don't know. Some dude.
When your sailing's over.
I don't know. Some guy. Someone I didn't recognize. Yeah, Dead Meat. The last pirate's name is Dead Meat. As soon as I catch his ass. Some dude of the Gaiman family. House. House. Oh, I don't know how to make that work. I was gonna make like a joke about his house name's acronym being NPC.
It's our sailing time.
Hey boys! Oh, don't just hear the old man say goodbye, fair
How did Evo? I didn't even see it happen. How did Evo sink?
Don't just hear the old man say
Hurrah, me boys, we're homeward bound.
we're homeward bound to live.
What rocks? I don't even see it happen. God, I know I'm kind of zoning out because it's extremely boring, but what the hell happened?
And when we get to the Wallasey gates,
See you around, Dakota.
oh Sally and Polly for their flash.
You know what would be really awful? I don't know how you can make this into a video game, Dakota. But make a mine that doesn't go off for like a really long time. So like it won't go off until after the battle's over.
Oh, here he comes.
You can turn that into a mini game. Like for if one of those mines gets attached to your ship, then you need to like have a whole mission of get down there and get that sucker detached, right? I don't know. Random thoughts.
And Wit and Judy's will raise Marielle.
No, that's Evo. You're right. That's the Evo back there. You were absolutely right. And you were right that she sank. I noticed, as soon as you called attention to it, I noticed that we were missing our frigate. Because that was my old flagship. Hey, Colgrim.
We get home, boys, oh, won't we fly round? Goodbye, fare ye well. Goodbye, fare ye well. We'll leave up the anchor to this buoy sound.
Hurrah, me boys, we're homeward bound.
We're homeward bound to the old backyard.
Goodbye, fare ye well. Goodbye, fare.
I'm never gonna make it. I'm never gonna make it. Oh my god, this is just... I'm crossing the ocean. The entire ocean. That's not even really a joke. I mean, I'm crossing the entire sea.
Goodbye, fare ye well. Goodbye, fare.
Oh no, they're all angry at Colgrim.
Good quarters for
They just can't do anything about it. Because I have so much money that they shut up. That's not actually a joke, that's a mechanic. Unless I get less than 230,000 gold, they're not going to mutiny. Okay, do you need repairs? Nope. It just sank. Jeez.
Yes, it's out.
Any up-to-date info?
Means a lot.
Bart Robert. That's the last one.
The gal for me, boys. Sally Brown, she's the gal for me, boys.
I am now the very basic rank with the Dutch.
Down to Trinidad to see Sally Brown.
Now I'm rank 2 with the Dutch.
She's lovely on the foreyacht, she's lovely down below, boys.
Yeah, I got Morgan's large frigate.
She loves me, that's all I want to know. Oh, Captain Baker, how do you store some I stow forward and some I stow aft.
I mean, there's no benefit to upgrading them, TSP. Literally. Like, the only purpose other ships have is to be a one-up in case you lose your flagship, and to carry cargo and crew. So, unless it's an upgrade that increases cargo and crew, or you plan to lose your ship,
Way high, and up she rises. Roll, boys, roll, boys, roll.
it's one of those debated things, Kennex Cow, but yeah, most people I know agree on that general idea. No, not at the Brox! God damn it.
One more pull, don't you hear the maid bawling? Roll,
You never prepare for a heat wave. There he is, Robert!
that's the end of our haul.
Let's do it. The last... Hang on. It's the last pirate. Yeah, look at that dinky-ass thing. Hang on, I'm gonna be mean. Come on. Come on, you can... I'm right here. Come on. I'm right here. Alright. So I'm going to turn around now. And they're just going to immediately surrender. Wow. Well, that's all the pirates. All of them. Including Montalban. Except, of course, for Raimondo. And, Mendoza, who might show up from time to time. It's all the named pirates. Better way to put that. See? 9 of 9. So we have half of our relatives. We're nowhere on Lost Cities at all. Jesus. We have revenged ourselves. We've married the beautiful daughter of Villahermosa. We're max rank with the Spanish. We are landed a little bit with everyone else. We have not found a lot of treasures. So let's go ahead and try to rescue the rest of our people. And honestly, I think I might call it there. Getting the treasure fleet, or the treasure cities would be nice. But honestly, we haven't even started getting stuff for that because that requires a whole other thing just to get the maps for that. Yeah, this is still our second run. I don't think there's a man of war, but there is a ship of the line. It's pretty rare. You have to do specific things to get it to spawn. Those are not guaranteed to spawn it. And they don't show up until, I'm not sure when in the game. Now, it's 1612 right now, so they might be capable of spawning. I'm not even sure, honestly. So first and foremost, let's dump his stupid little ship. Get out of here. I'll go and upgrade the armor, because honestly, why not? It costs literally nothing. Look, Braven. It's not my fault. But he's the one with the stuff I need. Okay, so...
Pit talks.
When in the lab.
yeah, we've started getting to the point where we're not even getting rumors from places. That's how bad it is. Alright, so let's head out. So he should be around here somewhere. I don't actually know where. Okay, so 1660. Thank you, Baronessa. So we actually cannot even see the best ship in the game for another 47 years. I'm not even going to bother. Okay, so I'm just... Tavern.
Pit talks.
Oops, tavern. Nothing? Wow, okay. If I'm not mistaken, last I saw... yeah, does it actually say? Oh, he's way over there. Well, he was way over there. We do have another goal, rescuing our family. I'm just gonna sail west now. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna save. Since we're pretty much at wrapping it up here phase. I might even close down the guessing game soon, because we've kind of already beaten the final boss. So there's sister, uncle, aunt, which is the current one. I don't know who the last one is. There are 4. Not a military payroll here. Grandfather, okay. Like, there's other stuff I could do. I could finish up all of the ranking things and max out my score, but I kind of don't care. We could conquer the entire Caribbean for any nation we feel like, but I kind of already did that for the French, and I'm good with not doing that again. Gibraltar, I want to go up. I could accept a sub from Dr. Winter. Oh, that's kind of terrifying. I could say thank you to Dr. Winter. Thank you, Dr. Winter, as always. I will jot that down in a moment. As soon as I make sure I'm clear of these rocks. Oh, I guess it freezes. Whatever. Yeah, I could flip pretty much every town in the Caribbean to whatever nation I feel like. Darkest Dungeon. We all know that'd be the Dutch, obviously. SNES block and NES block. You got it. And thank you again, Dr. Winter. Yeah, let's go rescue my aunt. I haven't even decided if I'm going to rescue my grandfather. I mean, you know, do we care about him, honestly? I mean, he's old, you know. You know what I might do? That's actually not a bad idea. Let's... Where would the lore walkers retire? The northern coast, the Cuban area, or over in the Gulf of Mexico? Gibraltar. So Bregman says Gulf of Mexico. Dr. Winter says Tortuga. Holgram says Gibraltar. The furthest east town. Gibraltar's close. Oh, I know, Crazy Norse. I'm aware. That's why I'm asking, you know? Alaska. Okay. So I'll put you off at, let's see, Veracruz, and you can walk the rest of the way. The Alaska Caribbean. God, that's hard to say. The Alaska Caribbean. There we go. I actually don't know, Crazy Norse. Where are we? Oh, hey. We're getting close to where he was, like, 20 months ago. Hopefully they'll at least tell me where he is now. Where's the music? Oh, my God. Just for that, I'm playing Mega Man music. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. No! Hi, Sean. Nope. In-game music is on. It just doesn't play a lot. That's another thing. We could get max rank with all the nations. And I do mean all the nations. We could be completely landed and loved by everybody. Alright, so where is this jackass? Doesn't even say. Doesn't even say. Where is this asshole? He was last seen here. And he usually sails back and forth along this coast. And I just came from the east end of this coast west. Where is he? No, Dr. Winter. The monkey, obviously. Well, shoot. I don't even have a map for her. I just noticed that. Okay. Oh, hang on. Let me write down Dr. Winter's thing. So that's going towards Darkest Dungeon, SNES block, and... Oh my god. And Evil Genius 2. Thank you for being part of the show, Dr. Winter. So yeah, obviously inflation doesn't work that way. But like, I'm curious, like how like, can we determine like how much a house cost in the 1613? If we could get like a baseline, we can figure out how rich we are right now. Yeah, we're kind of well off. No, 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 no. We haven't made enough money yet. We want more money. Well, okay. I heard Tortuga earlier. Anyone opposed to settling in Tortuga? Yeah, I've got 9,550 acres to my name. I'm quite well off. I am set for life. I have become old money. But they're French, Lord Paramount. Jesus Christ, Kira White Noise. Look, you guys are stuck in somewhere in the Caribbean, okay? Pick your poison. I don't care where, just pick one. No, I remember, prisoners. It was a kind of an infamous event, actually. I could drop y'all off in Santiago. Or no, Santo Domingo. That might be a better choice. "14 square miles. Good God. Yeah, I am, wow. I am a marquis who has landed with hundreds of thousands of gold to my name.
There's pet dogs.
When in the lab.
Nobody's giving many hints for where this guy is. This is actually getting frustrating. Like, the game is soft-locking and not telling me where this asshole is. I mean, I could, like, take you up as far as Florida. I could drop you off at St. Augustine, Luke. Do you want to go to St. Augustine? You like Florida, right? That's close to the Everglades. One of the most horrifyingly deadly swamps in this entire hemisphere. Okay, so hang on. How much was a ducat or a doubloon in dollar value? One. Let's math this out. Let's figure this out. I couldn't imagine living in Florida. No, thank you. No. Then dollar. 1700. Ask the AI. Words to the effect of no. I wouldn't ask an LLM what the weather was. I wouldn't ask an LLM if the sky was blue. DUCAT. Let's try that. If there's no info for that, we'll try a doubloon. If there's no info for that, we'll try a piece of 8. I'm kind of just trying to figure out roughly, very, 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 very loosely estimated, how much a gold coin was worth. And so I'm kind of trying to guesstimate what a gold coin even is, given the circumstance. Nope. Somewhat recently, I was Googling something on my phone, and my phone defaults to the LLM rather than to actually, the Google search results. And as a consequence, I happened to glance at it because I read extremely quickly. I forget what it was exactly, whatever it was, but it was hilariously wrong. Okay, that can't possibly be right. One gold coin cannot be worth 10,000 euros. There's no way. Unless that's after the inflation calculation, in which case, never mind. Okay, so that's after the next step. In that case, I can't do this in my head for some reason. What does 5 zeros? What's 5 zeros? So what's 10 zeros? What number is X plus 10 zeros? Okay, so we have 4.2 billion euros in our hold right now. Well, shoot, I am part of the problem. Yeah, you know what? That's actually the worst part of it. That is a silly, stupid amount of money. And it's still not as rich as the richest people in the world are right now. There's something so disgusting about that. I hope every rich person in the world dies. Now, the good news is, they will. The bad news is, it's going to take too long. By the way, that's not even counting the ridiculous value of my 14 square miles of land in the Caribbean. I'm just going to buy every single one of these colonies. Just go down the list. This is mine now. How could you pay for this? Oh my god! You know what, that's fair, Crazy Norse. But I am curious. How much is 14 square miles worth? I don't even care where. Just somewhere. Pick somewhere.
Dead pet dogs.
Okay, so 3 acres of land in the Caribbean is 6.3 million. We have 9,550 acres of land in the Caribbean. Damn right. Using land is worthless. I don't know, Sean. That is kind of strange. Well, we have just sailed this entire area. And he has not shown up. I think this is officially bugged. Because you'll notice no one's giving me any tips for him either. Not a single person has been giving me any tips for this guy's location. So I don't think I can rescue my aunt because I can't find him. I don't even have the beginnings of a map. Well, that would be news to me, Baronessa. He hasn't left South America my entire playthrough. That probably didn't work very well. Spartan. Okay, I'm gonna try one last thing. Literally one last thing here. I gave you money. Go away. God. Glancing around if he suddenly randomly shows up in the middle of absolutely nowhere. That's true. I'm just a filthy little privateer. Wait, seriously, Colgrim? I'm trying to remember what terribly wrong thing I have. I have 4.2 billion euros right now, Spartan. I've asked like 8 cities. None of them have told me anything, but I'll ask. I'll ask. As soon as I send everyone to their retirement in Cuba. Don't worry, it's not like some euphemism where I'm stealing all your money. I'm going to actually retire you with tons of money. Banner Lord. I mean, I have a fleet of galleons. Okay. Well, hang on. Before we do anything else.
Pit talks.
Nothing. 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 Still nothing. What do you want to bet? It wants me to go to the daughter and do the dance to get a frickin' tip. What do you want to bet? So hang on, let's save. Of course I have the right pedigree. I've got a gun and your face. Alright, so who's the next in line? Alright, so... it is with a heavy heart that I retire our amazing fleet. Boom. There. Just down to us. We're a lot leaner than we used to be. Now. Yeah. I don't want to do this. Fine. Yes. That's great. I accept your invitation. Give me a tip for where my family is, please. It's the last time I'm doing this. I'm never doing this stupid minigame again. Kinda, yeah, Mr. Red. No, Baronessa. Ah! The gear lets you make a couple of mistakes. 'Cause I screwed up there once. I've only made two mistakes now. Damn it, I had to open my gob. I've only made 2 mistakes so far. I don't trust trainers anyways. Especially not while streaming. Okay. I swear to God, if you don't tell me where our aunt is, I'm going to burn this entire city to the ground. Whole thing, top to bottom. It's just a fugitive. It's just a fugitive. So then we burn the village. No, no, no. I turn the village over to you guys, and you take the village for yourselves. And, yeah, that's it. We're done. That's everything. I don't know why I said village, that's city. So make sure you get your guesses in, because I'm cutting it off now. That's kind of discouraging. I couldn't finish the main quest. Nobody would actually tell me where the jackass was. I sailed up and down the coast looking for him. And, yeah. End game. I'm gonna settle in Havana, obviously. It's fine, Loner. I trust you to be nice and gentle with them. Hey, off the deep end. Havana. Yes, gotta say it right. I'm not sure this is faster, Baronessa. We've lost the dead weight of my entire fleet. Oh. What, is not being able to finish the main quest relevant to this type of game? I would say yeah. I can't get any hints to show up for where the pirate dude is, who is currently spawned, supposedly, who has the next tip for where my aunt is. Like, my latest tip placed him at one of the cities on the South American coast. I have been up and down that coast twice. He's not there. Oh my God, entity. So, yes. And one very last attempt. Yeah, the Spanish treasure fleet. I don't care. Oh my God! I just... Okay. Hang on. He's moved over to the triangle. He's moved to the Gulf. Everyone get out in a row. Yeah, Dr. Winter. Like, admittedly, I wouldn't even be playing the game without some kind of structure to it. That was actually how I opened the game. A truly sandbox game is well, I don't want to say worthless, because that sounds harsh, but it's worthless to me. There's nothing there. A true sandbox game is a game I'll get bored of in like 5 minutes. If there's nothing to do, then I tend to get bored of something very quickly. Alright, now, what do you want to bet Raimondo's going to give me, like, the worst possible hint for my aunt. If you think a 4X game doesn't have structure, Lord Harriman, we need to have a very long chat about what structure means. Factorio has a... Okay. Has a very strong central campaign. And progression and all that kind of stuff. Similar to something like, say, Subnautica or Grounded. The ones I like. True sandbox building, that hurts. This is painful. I need to just get in range. Oh, Jesus. I'm just gonna ram him. Hi, buddy. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. It's you again. I'm gonna disagree with that, Von Falkenstein, but I think that's just because we're running into definition issues. Could you stop doing that, please? Please? Fine. Give me my frickin' aunt. So, the problem is, as usual, examples is the easiest way to make my point. The problem with that is, I have trouble thinking of true sandbox games off the top of my head because I don't play them. I get bored of them instantly and put them down, and I never go back to them. So I can't tell you anything. I've played a few, and it's like, oh, this is a sandbox game, and I'm out instantly. $2.3 trillion in land. I don't even know what Kenshi is, so I can't speak to that. Original Minecraft I'll agree with, actually. A game I played for a grand total of 20 minutes before I was bored of it. I wouldn't call Freelancer a sandbox at all, but then again, I suppose that is getting into definition. So if you wanted to argue me on that, I'd let go instantly. You win. It's a sandbox. But it's not what I mean when I say sandbox. Now, modern Minecraft is much less sandboxy. Star Citizen isn't a video game. However, it's worth noting that even modern Minecraft I tend to get bored of in a few hours. Okay, so hang on. Repair. I don't have chain shot? Really? Wow, okay. Oh, let's... Yeah, sure, whatever. Elite Dangerous? Now that's a good example of a sandbox game. A good game, by all accounts. I've never felt the need to go into it more than... well, at all, honestly. Because... yeah, Elite Dangerous is a sandbox game. Through and through. That is what I would call a true sandbox game. You roam, you fly, you scan, you trade, you pirate, you fight. That's it. EVE Online, ironically, now that you say that, would also qualify as a true sandbox game. Which is funny, because it's an MMO. You're talking about No Man's Sky? Now that's an interesting one. No Man's Sky at launch, I actually played it at launch, was very sandboxy. It's actually a lot less sandboxy now. I have played and enjoyed it in more modern times. Last year, I think, was the last time I sat down and played that, because it has co-op nowadays. And nowadays it has way more structure to it. Quests and progression and concepts and escalation and story and all kinds of fun stuff. A big thing, we keep talking about story and structure, but the word that I think is most important is progression. If there's no clear progression in a sandbox, whether it's a partial sandbox or a full sandbox or semi-sandbox, I tend to lose interest pretty quickly. I'm going to use Subnautica as the example. I know Subnautica has a story. Let's just pretend for a moment that it doesn't. Because Subnautica is actually a pretty good example of how you can use progression to still have the game keep doing something. In Subnautica's case, and I actually discussed this extensively during the review, it's oxygen, and consequently, depth. The more oxygen you have, the more capacity you have, the further down you can go. Even at the very basic level of getting the increased speed on your flippers, or getting the slightly better tank. That seems like such a nothing thing, but what it really does is it allows you to go further straight down. And because you start off on what is essentially the top of an underwater mountain, you start at the point where you have to go down the least, and then the further out you want to go, the further down you have to go, right? And there's a certain point, a depth layer, I forget what it is. It's a specific thing, I think it's 300 meters, where you just start bleeding oxygen twice the rate from that point onward, because they really want you to actually have a vehicle at that point to go even further down. And those vehicles have their own depth limits, which can be upgraded. So the whole game, all the way up until you get down to Hell Actual, you're constantly trying to increase your depth range. Subnautica also has an end point, and like I said, a story. But even if it didn't, my point is that the game's design is such that you feel like you're moving forward and progressing and accomplishing more as you play it, right? And that's kind of an important thing for me. So something like Minecraft, to switch this around a little bit, if you play Minecraft as a survival game, pretty much the moment you hit the Nether and have the Nether on farm, you're kind of done. There's stuff after that, but at the same time, not really. Yeah, exactly, Loke. There's no progression in Elite Dangerous. I mean, there is, but you know what I mean, right? And in something like Grounded, to go back to that one, well, obviously Grounded is actually very story-centric and has cutscenes and characters and all kinds of stuff. Once again, even if you etch-a-sketch all of that out of existence, Grounded still has that progression going. You start off with nothing. You get a few tools, those tools get you more resources, those resources gain you access to new areas, those areas have more dangerous enemies, those enemies give you new stuff, that new stuff allows you to go to further areas. Now, this sounds like a basic loop, and a lot of survival builder and survival builder games all try to emulate this loop, but honestly, in my experience, most of them fail. I've played a lot of survival games, a lot of builder games, and frankly, most of them, percentage-wise, suck. Like, pound for pound, most of them are just chasing trends without understanding how to make these things work, right? To flip this a little bit, someone mentioned Factorio earlier. Factorio is all about trying to figure out how to get to your next step. There is always something else to do. I mean, everyone jokes about the factory must grow, but honestly, it's not about the factory until you're at the end game and just doing it for the fun of it. It's about, okay, I need this extra bit of power. How do I get this extra bit of power? Well, I could set up another 700 water turbines, but that's not efficient anymore. So what can I do to improve this? Well, I could try to burn oil. Okay, how do I burn oil? Well, I have to go get oil. Where's the oil? Oh, it's over there. That means I need a train. Okay, I'll go get a train and pull the oil from there. But that means I need pipes and I need something to process the oil. Do I want to process it there or here? And then, do I want to refine it there or here? How do I set up my defenses? Because all of a sudden I'm developing stuff over there, which is sending out electromagnetic signal, which itself is calling the enemies to the area. You could see how the progression is kind of natural in Factorio. I want X. Solve for X is the gameplay loop of Factorio. One moment, please. But I don't want to sound like I'm being dismissive. To be clear, as someone who plays a lot of survivor games and builder games, and survival builder games, that loop, making a satisfying loop for that is hard. That's why there's so few really good ones. I agree with Dyson Sphere. Dyson Sphere, Satisfactory, Grounded, I already mentioned that. Subnautica, the first one, not the DLC. Factorio is an obvious one. RimWorld, I would actually agree with, although RimWorld's different. That's more colony management. It's kind of a subcategory. Still qualifies. I haven't played Kenshi. I can't speak to that one. There was another one I was going to bring up. Valheim would qualify as well. Valheim is definitely one in this category. I would also say Terraria, although I haven't actually gotten too far into Terraria. V Rising, that's actually another good one. Now, V Rising, you kind of run into a wall at a certain point, but you're still... It still follows the same pattern. I mean, there's a reason why almost all the updates to V Rising have been adding new stuff to build and new bosses to fight. Oh, I'm well aware, Shadow Machine. I've been following it. Now, forgive me, I'm going to be paranoid for a second. And just... It's getting kind of warm in here. I just want to make sure that the fan is still running. And I'm sure it is, but, you know, you only need the AC to fail on you once to get a little paranoid. The good news, it's right up my window, so I can literally just pop in there and just look out the window to see if it's running or not. Last I checked, we're at the lawsuit step with Subnautica 2, which means we won't find out what happened for years or ever, because they'll probably settle. Now, what am I doing? Where's my family? I don't care about the treasure fleet. I don't care about the governor's daughter. I'm married.
Pet toxins.
Why are they being sued? Okay. Preface. Here's the short answer. We don't know. The super short situation with Subnautica 2 is that we don't know exactly what's going on, and the only ones who are guaranteed to suffer for that is us. Because Subnautica 2 is now in danger of not coming out at all, and if it does, it's going to be much, much worse. Now, that's the truth. That's the hard truth, right? That's the no really. Very recently, a few of the creative leads and managers at, I forget the name of the company, the developers, no longer work at the company. I'm saying that very neutrally because we're not really sure if they were fired, forced to quit, or quit of their own volition. All of those, we'll see, Luke. All of those are possible. They were saying that the game was ready to enter into early access soon. Now, they made a deal with a publisher who can go straight to hell by virtue of being a publisher several years ago that said if they hit a certain target, such as the game hitting certain financial requirements by later this year, then they would get a $250 million bonus, which would be distributed to the development staff. Okay? Them being removed, excuse me, let me try to be as neutral as I can about this, from the company means that marker is not going to be hit and the bonus will not be given. It also means the game is not coming out in early access at the point at which it was supposed to. Now, I know early access has a lot of going around it, but you have to remember Subnautica was an early access game. In fact, this is also not their second or third early access game. In the meantime, there's also a gentleman, I can't remember his name, who was reassigned as the new CEO of the development staff. He's got a hell of a laundry list. Like Callisto Protocol was him, along with Dead Space 3, I want to say. I might be screwing up my names, forgive me. But he's someone who has a reputation for being called in to specifically ruin a project that the publishers want to be ruined. That's not hyperbole. That's not presumption, to be clear. That's his job. If he gets called in, your project is being torpedoed by someone for some reason, okay? So, that's cool. So based on all of this, you can allege whatever you want to. And yes, the launch was pushed by the publisher to next year to ensure the bonus never happens, per the writ of their contract, which is part of why they're being sued over it. I say part because the publishers have been really overt about slamming the developers in a way that's actually very unusual. Anybody who knows corporate speak knows that corporations tend to give very non-answers, very non-language things, stuff that doesn't mean or say anything. Instead, they're basically like, they punch kittens, and they punch puppies, and they eat babies, and it's like, whoa, okay. Do you not know how this game is played? Yeah, they like to avoid lawsuits. Anyways, they're being sued. Go figure. I don't have any expectations for Outer Worlds 2, I don't think. To answer your question. We'll see when we get there. I liked Outer Worlds 2. In fact, I feel like I'm the only one in the world who did some days. Because everyone's like, this game sucks. But I like it. Oh, yes, news of my family. Okay. The evil Spaniard, Baron Raimondo, is a nombre de Dios on the other side of the freaking world. Expectations for Grounded 2? Again, no. Honestly, anything coming out of Obsidian is such a dice roll. And always has been, really. Like, even Grounded was a shockingly good game to me. And I stress the word game, too, because they're known for doing good stories, but Grounded was good on the gameplay axis. I think it might be one of the only Obsidian games I have ever played that was really good on the gameplay axis. I'm not being facetious when I say that. That was shocking to me. Like, oh, wow, this is actually really good. What the hell? New Vegas. We'll get there, but I have no fond memories of the gameplay axis of that game, and that's what I will say there. Tyranny? You're kidding, right? Tyranny, also known as Play a Mage. Pillars of Eternity 2. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that PoE 2 had some decent gameplay to it. So we're up to 2 Obsidian games with decent gameplay. Neverwinter Nights 2 is a game that is so bad on its gameplay axis that we had to not actually play it for our co-op game, even though we wanted to and were looking forward to it, because it was functionally impossible to play co-op. Now, having said that, of course, there is the remaster, which is coming out, I think, like, next week, which I'm looking forward to. KOTOR 2. I love how you keep mentioning games that are not known for having good gameplay as part of an argument to say that there's good gameplay. Yeah, it's coming out, like, next week, Mook. We've already bought it. My entire co-op group has already bought the game. So I haven't reviewed KOTOR 2 post-Oblivion Line. But if there's one thing I was impressed by with KOTOR 2, it's how it was a much better game on the gameplay axis than KOTOR 1, and still sucked to play as. Now, Stick of Truth, I'll give you that one. So we're up to 3 now. Oh, we're out of food. Oh my god, I haven't had to go for food in years at this point. There's nothing wrong with liking Obsidian. It's just, you don't go to Obsidian for gameplay. That's not their wheelhouse. Of the games we've listed, which is Stick of Truth, PoE 2, and Grounded, I would say only one of those has great gameplay. It's still Grounded, by the way. Yeah, can I buy some food? Because I apparently don't have any. Thanks. Is there hope for Grounded 2? I mean, it's a coin flip. It's Obsidian. Most of Obsidian's games are take X in exchange for Y in general, right? Alpha Protocol is okay, so Alpha Protocol's gameplay is terrible. Let's start with that. But it actually might be some of the worst gameplay of any Obsidian game, and that is saying something. However, the story for Alpha Protocol is unique, and it branches more than most games do. to an extent that's honestly kind of the point of the game, right? In other words, I would say it's worth it for the experience if you could get it running. He's known for it even, Mr. Hood. And yes, Microsoft is currently trying to dump entirely too much money into either... There's several ways this could be going. But either way, they're trying to capitalize on a market that doesn't actually exist. If you were to ask me and put money on it, I would say they're trying to create a market. Thank you, Caspian. As always, fresh reminder, Alan Wake might not include Alan Wake 2. I mention that every single time, just to be sure people are aware of it. I'll put the towards Avowed, Alan Wake, and FFTR. You got it. Well, I was talking about this earlier. The cycle is very rote. Certain groups of people... You know, hang on, let me just quote myself here. Because I already typed all this up. Nobody cares about this game anyways. Don't lie, you don't care. It's okay. I understand. Hang on a second. Hang on. Okay, here we go. So, almost every... This is a cycle... This is a cycle that has been repeated for decades, if not longer. There's some new thing, and people have invested money into it to make it happen, and they've realized it's not making money. It's a failed market. So what those people do is they want that money back, so they need to sell it to companies, big companies, especially tech companies. So they smartly, loudly, constantly praise the new tech, talking it up, how it'll improve efficiency, make jobs redundant. The kind of things investor types like to hear. Not investors like you or me, but the people who are actually at the companies who actually make large-scale, millions, billions dollars of investment decisions. Money people. These investors, usually investor groups, hear this demand and start demanding that the companies that they own a portion of start researching insert new tech here. And the companies will do whatever the investors do, and so that drives the interest in the new tech up. Okay? Now, hang on, I gotta scroll down to my next point here. Hang on. Now, most tech fads like this aren't like what's going on with LLMs, because most tech fads are sufficiently difficult to do in terms of skill or experience, such that the impact and damage that the fad can cause is limited. It just takes too much time and money and effort to invest in something. My favorite example to use of this is 3D television and 3D films, both of which were very expensive, took a lot of time and effort and work to get the production, get the parts, get the crew, get the know-how, get it there, get it to the places that can actually show it. And by the time you were past all of that, all of those barriers to entry have already filtered out most of the people who have long since realized that this is a money pit and there's not actually any money to be had in it. So they kind of walk away from it. And lo and behold, 3D TVs died, as they should have, because it was always a dumb idea. There's several examples. There's dozens and dozens of examples of this. Even if you just pull from my own lifetime, this cycle has been happening constantly. The problem with LLMs is there's basically no barrier to entry. So anybody can jump in and cause damage with almost no expertise, knowledge, resources, investment, or anything. You can go grab an LLM model, probably generate your own if you feel like it, and do things with it, which is causing bulk. Now, bulk is a problem because everything in the world, probably in the universe, follows the concept of filters. The more quantity of something you do, the more likely it is that stuff is going to sift through, right? If I sit you down and I make you play a video game, the point at which you quit is going to be up to you, because who knows when you're going to quit. But if I sit 100 people down, the odds of someone getting to the end of the game have gone up because more people are going to go through more filters. Same thing with 1,000, same thing with 1,000,000. LLMs do billions and billions of calculations constantly, and almost everyone is using them for some extent or another. And there are very few railguards or legality that is actually trying to prevent them from being used for things that they really, frankly, shouldn't be used for. Thankfully, one of the first things that happened here in the States was that LLMs were being used by lawyers and, I forget what they're called, but people who aren't full lawyers in order to try and just make a document or make evidence submission and stuff like that. And that was caught immediately. And those people got slapped down hard immediately. Some people got disbarred over this, which is even worse than being fired. Paralegals, thank you. And attorneys as well. And so in the legal space, LLMs have been pushed out pretty hard because the hammer came down swift and early. But in everything else, it's been a lot more because too many people are trying too hard to generate too much in order to try and save money, because their whole idea, the whole thing that all the investors think is it's going to be great. We're going to generate all this stuff and we'll never have to pay someone ever again. And that's all nonsense for all of the obvious reasons, which I'm not going to bore you with because you're an intelligent person and you know what those reasons are. But it is one of the things investors love to hear. Improve efficiency, reduce overhead costs, fire people, make more money. Yeah. And I don't remember, what was I talking about this? Someone actually got me on this topic here. I can't remember what it was. Oh, right. Someone was asking why the hell they were doing this AI thing and why Microsoft is trying to corner this market. So the specific thing that Microsoft is doing is that they're trying to generate a market. Microsoft has actually been making a lot of money selling LLMs to other companies. Now, that bubble is already in the middle of bursting. That's part of the problem, is Microsoft is about to drop gabrillions of dollars down a money pit on something that they probably haven't realized or don't care is something that is already costing them more money than they're actually getting in return. So yeah, they're trying to generate a market here in order to get more people to buy their AI generated whatever in order to hope that they can actually then corner that market, because they do think it's going to be the next big thing, the next big internet, the next big, I don't know, fiber, like whatever you want to call it, the next big thing that's actually going to succeed. They are wrong. They are extremely wrong. And this is affecting companies at the large scale and the small scale. The large companies are affected by the investor problem I already talked about earlier, because as we all know, investors are evil. But at small companies too, they find themselves getting stuck behind, and they may or may not know what they're talking about. And so they hear all these people saying, oh man, it's so great, and it drives costs so far down, and it's improved efficiency on this, and it's made this so much better, and it's so much quicker, and so much amazing. I can't believe it. Why aren't you using one yet? Oh, I guess I should go buy one. Where should I buy one from? And they go and they Google where to buy an LLM from, and one of the top things they get is Microsoft, which is where they've been making money off of this. Now, oh yeah, no, it's bad, TSB. It's really bad. To give you some examples, because I already did my research on this, one of the things that people keep saying is AIs aren't going to replace jobs. Nobody's going to replace a real functional human being with a bot, right? So here's the bots that have already replaced jobs at which companies. MSN has already replaced journalists, and they actually do entire news stories that are fully written by LLMs. Google fired most of their ad and marketing people to replace them with LLMs. Blue Focus got rid of the entirety of their writer division to do this. Duolingo uses bots instead of people to help with their translator algorithms now. Turnitin, I don't know how to pronounce that, fired quite a few people to replace them with bots, which is even better when you think about it. Salesforce got rid of a few hundred workers. Klarna has been bragging about how they're replacing hundreds of customer service people with LLMs. Best Buy fired tons of people to, and I quote, transition to AI. I actually looked into that one a little bit on the site. I think that's a lie. I think they just wanted an excuse to fire people. And of course, Microsoft has been taking the biggest hatchet in the universe and just smashing it through entire subdivisions in order to push up this whole AI push thing. Hang on. I got 3 ones at the end here, which honestly kind of scare me the most. Goldman Sachs replaced a lot of data entry people with bots. So did Morgan Stanley. Now, if you know anything about how notoriously inaccurate LLMs are, that should scare you as much as it scares me. Also, BT replaced a few dozen thousand people with bots. And IBM has been getting rid of most of their human resources personnel and replacing those with bots. It is a bubble. It has arguably already popped. Depends on how you debate that and how you decide that. And it will be bad. Yeah, think about that. Replacing human resources personnel with bots. I understand, as most people do, that human resources has nothing to do with you because they don't give a crap about you. But still, really think about that for a second. Yeah, it's also worth noting people were anti-AIs for all the wrong reasons when this was first set up. People are usually anti-new tech. That's normal, and arguably for good reason. Hello, Cadence. Sorry, you just caught me yammering on about LLMs. I do apologize for the rant that you probably didn't even hear. Yeah, most people were afraid of Dave. Or not Dave, sorry. I can't think of his name. Red Eyeball. Hal. Most people were afraid of Hal from Space 2001 Odyssey, which is nonsense. Most people are afraid of Skynet, which is nonsense. But the thing is, for once, this is actually working in our favor, because so many people being so afraid of LLMs is actually a good thing, because it means the general consensus is against it. So that means that's even more stuff that these assholes in suits, you know what I mean, are having to push up against in order to actually get anybody on board with this. No, what LLMs are doing is arguably worse than what HAL did. Skynet's debatable. There was a nuclear war there. Hang on. Dragon Age 4, Guild Wars 1, Civilization 1, and you did it perfectly correctly. Thank you, Cadence, very much. Always appreciate you. Yeah, they're scared of the Reapers, when really what LLMs are doing is making the world a worse place, both in terms of terrain, the amount of energy waste, the amount of plastic waste, and machine waste, I think is what that's usually called. Electronic waste, excuse me. And the sheer amount of resources that are being burned on power generation to power the large-scale data centers, which are running most of the central LLMs, is insane. ChatGPT is an LLM, Lord Harrimount. Oh yeah, water consumption. That's another big one. Keep in mind, we've had water shortages before this. So, yeah, it is absolutely bonkers how much destruction this is doing to the planet, to our resources, to our economy, to our companies, and to our individual people. Forgive me for being a bit alarmist, but LLMs are one of the worst inventions that are being mass pushed by tech bros that I have ever seen. Like I said, most of the time when these assholes decide to push something, its overall influence is relatively limited because there's so many barriers to entry and so many filters in place. This one has been allowed to run rampant. Now, I'm not even going to bring up Trump and the fact that the big, beautiful bill, which is one of the worst legal documents I've ever read in my life, and yes, I have actually read the goddamn thing, because I'm insane, and I can read very quickly. It's over 1,000 pages for those who are not aware, has several things in place specifically to try and make it more difficult to try and pull down legal rules to limit AI research. Now, you're probably thinking, why? Well, that's obvious. It's so no courts at the state level or the local county level can try to contest or push back against the companies which are doing all this stuff. So the companies can try and turn this around into a quick profit. Emphasis on quick. Because there's only two possibilities here, and they both lead to the exact same thing. They're evil or they're stupid. If they're evil, they know this is a bubble that's causing large-scale damage, and they want to get out with their chunk of gold before everyone else realizes it. If they're stupid, they think this will actually be the honeypot at the end of the rainbow, and they're in for a shock. Both lead to the same thing. Anyways. This is and will continue to be very damaging for the planet, for people, for companies, for economics in general. It will be used as an excuse to declare financial emergencies, which will be used as an excuse to change certain amounts of lending rates, which will be used as an excuse for large-scale holding companies to buy larger chunks of real estate, which will be used as an excuse in order to try and push more and more people into homelessness, at which point homelessness, which people have already been cracking down on, will become more and more illegal and be punished as a criminal action. This is not the first step in this process. This is not some stupid conspiracy theory. We're at like step 15 here. Where am I going? I actually don't remember. Where am I going? Nombre de Dios. Wait, what? I'm going completely the wrong way. I destroyed it, Scumlord, so that I could dance on the fires. Honestly, and without hyperbole, we just need to shove a few people into a few guillotines. Because that's kind of where we're at. We have already reached the point where resistance should be violent. Where is this jackass? Where's my aunt? Where's my aunt?
When in the lab.
Where is he? He's in Coro. Of course he's east of here. Yeah, just a little bit off the top. Get rid of all the dead weight up top. Oh, sorry, Bregman, could you get Cadence a Discord invite as well, please? I think it was Cadence. Yeah, Cadence 2.6. Yeah, we're just right-sizing it. Mook apparently would also like a Discord invite. I think the biggest issue we have right now isn't escapism. We've always had escapism. Throughout all of human history, we've had no problems literally taking up arms against this kind of oppression before. There's a lot more I could talk about that topic, but I'm going to skip over that topic because I think there's another unrelated problem. It's also a very common problem in human history. It's focusing on the wrong target. Every single person in this chat right now is not my enemy, and I am not your enemy. Now, I'm pretty sure y'all know that. But the trick is to try and convince all of us that we are each other's enemies. That you're the problem, that you're the problem, that I'm the problem, that they're the problem. When we bicker and argue and point fingers at each other, immigration, excuse me, then what we tend to have is people who are not actually pausing to critically think about the actual causes of our issues. We are trying to tackle symptoms rather than actually rewind our way through what is actually causing problems. We need to be looking at sources. We need to be looking at causes. Yeah, let's see. Trans people are a really popular one right now. There is still a lot of anti-black bias. Obviously, everything anti-immigration. That's just worldwide right now. Jews are a classic one. I don't want to get on down on Israel, but can I just say the weaponization of anti-Jewish sentiment that the Israeli government has used is honestly disgusting. You can't say anything bad about me because that would make you anti-Jewish. It's just one of the most horribly awful things in my lifetime. Yeah, Islamophobia. I like how several members of the current administration have openly been trying to attack. I don't remember his name. The guy who just won the mayoralship for New York. And because yeah, he's Islamic. Is he even really American? He better. By the way, fuck ICE. Sorry, forget my language. That is one of the most overtly goddamn thuggish organizations I have seen in my entire lifetime. I am legitimately gobsmacked that they are so openly overt about being thugs. Because they are thugs. They are thugs who are given money to be thugs. There's nothing good there. Oh, hey, there's Raimondo. Where's my aunt? Where's my aunt? I actually know someone personally. Not gonna name names. Whoops, I had the wrong guns equipped. Who flat out had to cancel a trip to the United States because the flight in question, the company that runs the flight in question refuses to do flights to the United States right now because it is considered an unsafe thing to do as of this point in time. Okay, where is my freaking... Oh my god! Really? I hate you. I hate you. Whatever. Take your food. Yeah, the U.S. is literally on travel advisory right now. If I could rant about ICE one more quick time. I know this is a really commonly repeated thing, but it bears repeating. So, one of the most common things they say is that these illegal immigrants are freeloafers, right? Freeloaders, excuse me, freeloaders, who don't actually work. So that's why they go to their places of jobs and where they work in order to grab them. Some of them like to repeat the point that they are illegal and flaunting the law, that they're criminals, which is why they like to go into courtrooms to find them there when they're actually doing their duty and showing up their appointed court dates. I hope they'll die. Thank you, Bregman. Let's go and repair this and get rid of this piece of garbage. Well, okay, fine. We'll hold on to it. That's just fair, TSB.
There's pet talks.
Where's Kumana? It's east of here. Of course it's east of here. East we go. I still need another, like, 200 to get all of them, Kira White Noise. Me and Pax did a little bit of undermine grinding last night while we were chatting. Yeah, something I know not everyone cares for him. Something Jon Stewart said really stuck with me. Oh my God, it's Baron Raimondo. That's not what Jon Stewart said, but that would be really funny if it was. Jon Stewart's like, it's Baron Raimondo. Sorry. I just... He was asked by someone from his audience, Ciaran Kenexcow, enjoy the movie. He was asked by someone in his audience how to deal with this, right? And his response, because he's older than me, was that he's been through this before. It's always interesting times. That and learning to understand that and accept that and move forward from that is just kind of part of life. We always live in interesting times. Remember COVID? We got to go back to normal. There's no such thing as normal. There really isn't. Understanding that is kind of part of how that works. Okay, St. Augustine. Okay, we need Shark Reef at St. Augustine. St. Augustine. Why? Rain 36. Where the hell's St. Augustine? I don't know that city very well. Where is that? St. Augustine. Oh, that's way up there. Oh my god, of course it is. Alright, my aunt better be really, really grateful. I mean, have you seen the studies that overusage of LLM actually is deleterious to your ability to mentally process and comprehend things? Which makes sense. That's not like some big, shocking anti-AI thing. That just makes sense. The more you... The more you understand something, the more you can think about something. The more you have to think about something, the more you tend to process and just have generally better intellect. Like, just across the board. Yeah, critical skills, critical thinking is called that for a reason. If you just have to hit a button and something happens, you don't have to think about it, right? You just hit the button and you're good. It's one of the reasons why, to bring this on topic for a second, while I'm in favor of quality of life features, I do actually agree with the common consensus that there is such a thing as too much quality of life. That at a certain point, it's too much, because it just kind of stops being gameplay at that point. Like, I like routing, you know? Yeah, Master of Orion 3, that's actually a great example of that. Master of Orion 3 is a perfect example of a game where it was too taken out of the player's hand. And at that point, it just became hitting the button and then staring at the screen for hours and then wondering, did I buy the wrong game? I really was. I wasn't sure if I bought the right game or not. Because I bought Mu 3 the moment it came out. I was so excited. Because Mu 2, I played Mu 2 after Mu 3, right? Like, hell, I've streamed Mu 2. It's such a great game. And then Mu 3 was just like, hi, I'm garbage. And I was like, oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Yikes. What was the thing I was looking at? There was something specific. I wish I could tell you the exact example. I mentioned it earlier. I was Googling something. And, because Google defaults on my phone to the AI tab, it gave me the AI answer. And I happened to know with total and 100% certainty that the AI answer was wrong. And I was just like, okay. I didn't process it because of course it was wrong. It's become so normal that LLMs are wrong that it didn't really do much to me. It was just another example of that. You should play Expedition 1 through 32 before playing Expedition 33. I don't have a particularly good relationship with my dad and his wife. Girlfriend? I don't know. But even him, I bothered to sit down and give him a very serious, very boring explanation of why he should stay the hell away from bots. Okay, so southwest of St. Augustine. Southwest of St. Augustine? Oh, it's got to be like right there. Okay, hang on. I hope he listened. Who knows? They usually listen to me when it comes to tech stuff because they know that I know tech way better than they do. And I'm an idiot. Southwest of St. Augustine. All right, let's just go to shore. I don't know here. What we got? What we got? So we got a geyser. We've got the town. And that's it. Is there a geyser on this map? There is. This is such a weird thing. So there's Shark Reef. This has got to be on the other side. Right? It's got to be over here. It's got to be on the other side of Florida. Hang on. I mean, I could walk across Florida. Might be quicker. But let's not do that. What are we looking for? It was Skull Reef, right? Shark Reef, Shark Reef, Shark Reef. Dun 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 dun. Sorry, I'm dumb. And copy wronged. But I have the biggest boat I can have. Literally. It's because it's a complex genre. At least a freelancer game is a complex genre. I mean, what are you going to do with the pirate game? There's Shark Reef right there. Okay, so Shark Reef. It's like straight northeast of Shark Reef. I don't know. It might not be big enough to carry my aunt. Oh god, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I can't land, and my ships are be exploding. Oh my god, come on, ships. There we go. I mean, this is as close to a pirate management sim as we've probably ever had. And I do agree with you. Like, this is awesome. And yeah, these kind of games tend to be chonkers, as Crazy Norse mentions. Yeah, let me switch hands. Okay, so there's a head. I guess I'm going to have to get ahead of the competition. Okay, so we've got a ruins over there. Hang on. There's the temple, there's the head. So it's got to be like, there's going to be an Indian totem up here. What is that? That's the Indian totem. So it's going to be like right here. I'm probably staring at it. There it is. Hi, Aunt. Listen, Aunt, I'm sorry, your boobs are too small. I gotta send you back. So, search in the vicinity of Villa Hermosa. Well, that's interesting. Villa Hermosa. Huh. I might go for that. Because I know exactly where that is. I know, right, Bregman? It's like, listen. Thank you for rescuing me, but I found a treasure map to one of the lost treasure cities of the Incas. Thanks. You okay? Yeah, sure, whatever. Go get the Incas. Okay. And now we sail. Drifting. Helpless. Hopeless. Desperate and afraid. Knowing at any moment 1,000 different things could kill us in ways we would never even perceive. But in the game, this is cool, because like we know exactly where we are. We're in the Gulf of Mexico. There may be killer eels in the Gulf of Mexico. Because that's what it's called. Okay, so there, I'm actually pretty much dead on. I'm just gonna let it ride. Mexican eels sounds like a dish. Is that a dish? Hang on. Hang on. Mexican eels. Dish. We'll add dish to that. No, not AI generated. We were just talking about it. Give me the actual results, please. Thank you. Sauteed baby eels. Interesting. There's also angulas, which are Spanish baby eels. All right, so hang on. Stop. Save. Here. Yes. Thank you. Okay. So we're looking for coast and then that. Now, where are we? That looks like down here to me. Either that or right here. We'll try right here first. See if we get lucky. Jailer eels. No, I've played Dishonored, thanks. I'd rather die. Okay, so what's right here? A hangman's tree, alright. Is there an Indian totem by that? There's a geyser over there. That's looking promising, actually. So there's the tree. Where's the geyser? I lost it. There's the tree. And geyser. Okay, so let's head this way. Yeah, several people have compared this map thing to Hom. In a bad way, it's worth noting. Like, in a this is not a good thing way. Okay, so that's an Indian totem, it looks like. Okay. There's a lot of geysers around here. Why are there so many geysers in Middle America? Don't answer that question. I don't think this is the spot. You know what? I should use an AI bot to tell me where this spot is. That would be a great idea. Okay, so... I fell into a burning ring of fire. So there's that dead tree. There's another dead tree. Here's an arch. Sir, you're more wealthy than God. Why are you trying to search for a lost treasure city? Well, you see, I learned something today. I learned that just because you have more money than God doesn't mean you can't get more. Are one of these the city? These don't look like the city. These look like Mayan ruins. Yeah, okay, these aren't it. No, I hit the wrong button. Okay, so there were two Mayan ruins right next to each other. I don't think that was it. Exactly as Miristar. See? Now you're thinking. Now you're using those critical thinking skills. Get rid of this. Right here. Whoops. Yep, we're tariffing heaven. We're having a trade deficit with heaven. And the more you think about that, the sillier that sounds. Then again, the whole trade deficit thing sounds silly in general, so I guess that's not saying much. Like, there's more that goes into it than you'd think, but I think Braglin shared one of my favorite ways to explain trade deficits to someone who doesn't understand what that means. It's like being freaked out that you have a trade deficit with your local grocery store. It's true. You do. Is this? Oh, that's an arch. That's an arch. It's like, yeah, that's what trade deficit means. That's true. Every one of you has a trade deficit with me. Everyone who's donated, forgive me for being presumptive. Time to declare a national emergency. So I can get away with things. What is that? That's just my ship. Ah! Whoops. What is that alien thing on the horizon? Sir, that's your ship. Oh. Shoot. What's that? I don't recognize that. This is just a head. Yeah, it's a head. Sorry, everyone. I didn't mean to get ahead of the situation. Hang on. Head next to rock, and there's a geyser right there? I think I've actually found it. Crap. Yeah, there should be a dead tree this way. I think that might be it. I think I found it. Yep, there's the dead tree. Oh my god, I found one of the lost Incan cities. Wow, these are not labeled well. I mean, I guess that's the point. That's why they're lost. A thorough search of the legendary lost city reveals 50,000 gold bases. And the rich get richer. Ugh. Let's go retire. let's retire. Let's head home. Let's go meet our wife, who I don't even know her name. Alright, let's pop a save in case I ever want to come back to this and do 100%, because this is the save I do it on. We are so close, relatively speaking, to 100%ing. I would have to find 6 treasures. I would need to rescue my grandfather. I would need to find 3 cities. And then I would need to kill pirates for a minute. And that would basically be it. But all of that is time, and I've done all of those steps, and I don't feel like it. So let's just wrap this sucker up. If I ever find that bug, I can come back to it. Hang on, let me talk to my beautiful, beautiful wife. What's her name? Beautiful.
Please stay.
Hello, my amazing wife.
Tushala.
Sure. Let's end this with a bang. With the worst minigame in the game. That's a lie. The second worst minigame in the game. Yes, tomorrow we'll have a Super Lesbian Animal RPG.
Oh. Nabola Lamri.
One last dance for you, my Canadian or Spanish lover. I have to concentrate on that nonsense. Oh my god, there's information on where my grandfather is. And he gets to rot there. What I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna save after having gotten that. There we go. Alright, let's divide the plunder. Every single member of my crew gets 2,700 gold. I retire. Yes. You retire at the age of 34 in poor health. You take up residence in the city of Villahermosa with the profession of Meier. You are joined by your wife, the beautiful daughter of the governor of Villahermosa, name not included. Your title of Spanish Duke makes you an influential citizen. You accumulated wealth of 48,902 gold pieces and 10,900 acres of land provides you an extravagant lifestyle in a mansion near the town center. Vanquishing the evil Marquis de la Montalban remains the highlight of your career. You were able to rescue 3 of your missing family members. Joy is tempered by sadness as you live out your remaining years. Your bold exploits make you the first most notorious pirate in the entire Spanish Main. The legend of your dazzling victories and incredible adventures grow with each passing year. We got the 3rd highest rank, but there's your end screen. And we're French, obviously. I think this is supposed to be us, actually. And we win! Just your age, Crazy Norse. Now, there are 2 things you can do to push back against your age. Medicine and I forget the other thing. Oh, it's the specialist. It's the medical skill. But either way. Yeah, we were getting old. We were 34. I've been eating sea rations for, like, 16 years. Oh. Okay, we're good. I'm good. And that was Sid Meier's Pirates. So, without further ado, let's figure this out, shall we? Let's see. Did the game live up to the hype? Honestly, I enjoyed that. I hope you guys did too. I understand if you don't. Alright. Let me get, like, some good music for this, because this probably won't be a very long audit. Give me 1 second. We'll start here. Better game than Sticker Star. Yes. That is a true sentence. Get your guesses in. If you didn't, I'm going to give you one last second to do it. Pull out all my docs here. I would say, I'll talk about this more in the outro where more people in the VOD are going to see it, but if there's one commonality I've noticed, it's a lot of games tend to be a little bit higher up on our personal perspectives because they're unique. How many other games allow you to go be a freelancer pirate? Oh, that's right, none of them. I'm being slightly facetious. Like, this is a very rare genre. And it's a very rare flavor of that genre. That's true. I remember sailing the Caribbean in Star Sector. Ah. That's true. You did have a quadruple A pirate game recently. Quadruple A means absolutely, exonerously, assiduously asinine. There we go. Yes, I know one of those starts with O. No, I don't care. Here we go. I mean, I'm sure Sea of Thieves is a perfectly acceptable game. I'll never play it, but, like, I haven't heard that it's bad. It's just not my thing. I have no interest in that kind of game. I mean, all of you know that, okay, Skull and Bones was literally a scam. Literally. I mean, any game with that level of PvP focus is just, I'm just going to bounce off of. No, when I say it was literally a scam, I don't mean like in whatever you're thinking of in the normal sense. Like, I mean, it was a scam. Worse than Star Citizen levels. Seriously. Like, for real. Look it up sometime if you ever want to have a hoot, because holy crap. That's why I never had any hope for that. As soon as like I read any news about it, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, they literally were scamming the government of a country out of money for a product they had no intention of actually pushing out. It wasn't until legal pressure was put upon the company that they finally acquiesced to putting out a game at all. Possible, though, but at that point, why bother? I know that sounds strange, but it's like, there's this extra side mode, which is not the focus of the game, where you can have a campaign, which may or may not be co-op. Does it count as a game? It's less of a game than Sea of Thieves. That's... Name one, Lope. See, now I'm confused, because I'm starting to think we're on different pages here. Which is normal, because Loke and I are on, like, different zip codes from each other. What do you mean? Oh! So... Sticker Star came out at a point in my life where I was really distracted by certain things. I'm not going to say that I was incredibly suicidal, but I wasn't really looking too much into games before they came out. So the answer is no, but not because there weren't any issues, but because I literally wasn't looking into it. There was a new Paper Mario game. Oh, crap. I should buy that because it's a new Paper Mario game. First time I heard about Sticker Star was I was going to the local GameStop with a friend of mine, and I saw it there on the shelf, and I was like, grab. Just immediate. What do you call that? Trust buy or whatever. That's how it works. Almost every franchise eventually has something you do a trust buy on, and then you're burned on. Sometimes those trust buys eventually come back around to being good. I hated Final Fantasy VIII because it wasn't what I wanted after 4, 6, and 7. I actually enjoy Final Fantasy VIII nowadays, now that I've actually had a chance to play it for what it is. And then sometimes it's always drivel. Looking at you, Sticker Star. Oh, gotcha, Loke. Maybe? I'm not sure I can think of one off the top of my head. Darksiders 3. Yeah, I vibe that. Chimera Squad. I think I still own that. I think I bought that like when it came out. I haven't played it at all. Not even once. Diablo 3 was a trust buy for me. I didn't even think about it. Why would I? Hey, Chill Penguin. Yeah, we're doing the boring audit right now. In fact, I'm going to ignore chat for just a second and just go through the boring audit very quickly. Forgive me. I actually liked Halo 4. I know, I'm unusual in that, but I did. We did a co-op playthrough. I know I just said I'd ignore you guys, and here I'm already talking back with you. We did a co-op playthrough of the Halo games very recently, me and my co-op group. And the person who'd never played any Halo game, I mean, you already know the answer, but guess what their favorite Halo game was? That's right, it's Reach. But their second favorite Halo game was 4. And honestly, I kind of vibe that too. Two had a really good story. It did. End statement. Halo 5 I'll never play, because it's never going to come out on anything I can actually play it on. I know the story of 5. I hate the story of 5. Especially after 4. I'm one of those weirdos who liked how 4 ended, by the way. That's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah, as in, I'm trying not to spoil. Yeah, and then 5 showed up, and I was like, hi. I could see that, Ryman, because 4 did feel like it was a different formula. It's a good word for it, for FPSs. And I've played tons of FPSs in my life, so I didn't really have any preconceptions one way or another walking into that. Yeah, you remember when the Halo games were banned from being streamed for the longest time? That's how long I've been streaming, is for the longest time the Halo series was on the banned list, because I couldn't get a hold of them. It wasn't until the MCC showed up that that ban was lifted. Yeah, I've been streaming for 13 years at this point, I think. No. 2012. I could tell you the month, but I guess that is 13 years, yeah. I wish Dr. Winter was here, because I wanted to respond to something he was mentioning about the plot, but whatever. Me too, Shadow Machine. I mean, we just had how many GameCube games get added to the list? Like, this year? Recent as hell. Honestly, I think that's it. Story is mostly visual and fun. +8 to story. Oh, whoops. Yeah, GPUs... yeah. I dread when this one finally dies, because it's gonna happen. Which one? 1 or 2, Spartan? We actually spent longer on this than I thought we would. That's my fault, though. I really wanted to do as much of the content as I could, and I could have chopped off earlier. Fable. I have never played Fable 2. You know why. It's the same problem we were just talking about. Fable 1 is a game it took me a long time to acknowledge as being... decent. Forgive me. I was trying to think of a way to say that that didn't sound insulting, because I really didn't want to sound insulting there. Like, I know that sounds strange. Like, I will go ahead and, this is loud. I will accept egg on my face for over-hating Fable 1 because of how it launched and because of the lies leading up to the launch. Yeah, exactly, because of Molyneux. And because of the hype train, excuse me. See, if Ross was here, I'd play Apex of the World, but can't do that. Correct, Luke. Subnautica music? Does Subnautica have music? That's a strange sentence, but I don't remember, just in my head, I don't remember a single song from Subnautica. Oh, Jesus, Baronessa. That's aged well. Alright, just for you, Ross. Hang on, I gotta find the version that doesn't have lyrics. Which is harder to do than it probably should be. Do we want rain or thunder? Hi, Elizar. I don't know the difference. Okay, rain it is. There you go, have some epic auditing. I've been thinking about which order we should do these when we get there. I've also been thinking about how the hell I'm going to play that game. Because there's really only two options. One is somehow emulate the game. I have no idea how I've never even looked at a Switch emulation. And then cheat. Because you can cheat in an emulator. I actually already have the cheat, so I'm good to go on that. Or dedicate a month to it. And I don't know which of those things we're going to do. I'm admittedly, and I hate myself for doing that, I'm kind of kicking that choice down the can right now, because, yeah. That is such a colossal problem. Yeah, I decided to look up, last night, the specifics of New Game Plus. I was not impressed. At all. I might give that a negative for New Game Plus for being so bullcrap and so tales of. What it boils down to is if you go grind your first playthrough, you'll have a bunch of options to upgrade a couple things, including the statues, which speed up some of the grind of the second playthrough, which then carry forward to help speed up some of the grind of the third playthrough. So it's not like it doesn't speed it up, but like by such an amount as to be non-substantial. And you're probably thinking, well, who cares, Lord? Just play the game 3.5 times. A single playthrough of Three Houses is like a 70-hour run. Unvoiced. So that sucks. I even looked up a few min-maxing guides and found nothing really useful. Apparently, one of the more common tactics, if you want to really speed it up, is to do the church route, I think it is, first. I don't remember the names. And like, don't even pay attention to anything. Just use your entire first route doing specific things to gain up as much renown, I think it's what it's called, as possible. And just constantly dump that into the statues. And then your second route, you do Edelgard, and do the exact same thing. Yeah, see, that's the other thing. The other option I've considered, which, I mean, will be faster. It's still not great, is I've considered getting to the choice and then making a hard save. And then doing, you know, never doing part 1 again, basically. Just completely skip New Game Plus and just do it that way. To give you an idea, to be very clear, I know, Ross. Like I said, there's no good options here. None of these options are good. That's the problem. I don't remember why this is in my... Oh, right, because I was listening to the lyric version of this very song. And that just kind of reminded me of it. Anyways, to give an idea of how long this freaking game is... Three Houses has a banger soundtrack, right? I was sick of it. I was just straight up sick of the music by the time we were done. Not because it's bad, because I heard it so much. We did Edelgard, sorry. It was voted for, by the way. You guys voted for that. Oh, I didn't even think about that Shadow Machine. That's a good point. Did we romance anybody? I don't remember. I really don't. What are you talking about, Elazar? Yeah, I don't have memories of a romance. I know we got to S rank, or maybe it was A rank, on basically everybody. Like Bernadetta, I loved Bernadetta, great character. You can tell that game stuck with me because I still remember several of the characters' names to this day, and I've only played it once. Awesome, Mizuno. Yeah, the supports are great. Like, it's so frustrating how long the game is, because it is a great game. We might as well just call that Persona 5 syndrome. It's a great game if you got a month. That is most likely what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go ahead and set aside a month and be like, here. We're just going to spend a month and play Fire Emblem Three Houses until we're done. And we're just gonna do it. You can romance Rhea. No. Now Manuela. Ooh. No, not because we're boobs. I mean, that helps, but that's not why. There's a bad Fire Emblem? Which one's Engage? I'm terrible with names. Ah, the blue and red one. I'm sure everyone currently here is already aware of Awkward Zombie. But I'm just going to link this in chat for anybody here who likes Fire Emblem. Just leaving that there. It's a webcomic I've been following for a few... I guess it's pointless to say I've been following any webcomic for a few years, because that's all of them. Like, there's no... Do new webcomics even happen anymore? All the existing ones only survive because they're extremely entrenched. And have been around for decades in some cases. I'll read this out loud for the hell of it. So, two people are like, you should romance us. One of them says, please marry me. We may be siblings, but we've spent our lives apart. We're basically strangers if you think about it, so it isn't weird. The other guy says, no, you must marry me instead. We were only raised to believe we were siblings. This is even less weird. At which point she says, can I... She just leaves entirely and goes to a nunnery and says, can I join your monastery? Please. Seriously, I recommend Awkward Zombie. They're a great comic. Yeah, I've been following Questionable Content since they're in like the 50s. That's to say, that's how many comics that he'd put out. Almost every comic I follow, I've been following pretty much since its inception, because I was very much part of the webcomic scene back in the 90s. Like, I've been around for that for forever. I have actually had 2 of my own webcomics. Some vestiges of them still exist on the internet. No, I will not share them with you. One was drawn and one was sprite-based. The sprite-based one was based off of Seiken Densetsu's 3 sprites, because I thought they would look the best. The drawn one was terrible, because I'm a terrible artist. Oh, I'd go with Camilla, too, because she has giant boobs. I've just played a game that proves beautiful is best, and beautiful means boobs. What? Alright, let's see here. I never gamed that negative, did I? Give me a second, I'll tell you all the longest games we've covered right now, not counting MMOs, but you gotta give me a sec, because I don't have that information handy. I think so, off the deeper end. Give me a second. I'm up to the L's. And Subnautica has a really good soundtrack. Holy crap. How did I not remember any of this? Probably because it's more atmosphere-y. Uh-huh. I believe you, Czar. Wink! Alright, Actually, I noticed Chuck-a-Lonely lately, too, at my local grocery store. In fact, just for funsies, because I haven't even opened it up yet, they had a flavor I've never tried before. The flavor is called Everything. It has caramel, pretzel, almond, nougat, sea salt. Oh, there's a DLC campaign? It's not making the game longer. Look, we all know the best part about Lulu's character in FF10 is her okay, real talk. I find it funny that a lot of people compare Lulu to Tifa because they both have big boobs. One of them is a character. In fact, Tifa is my favorite character in vanilla FF7 because she is an actual character with depth and layers and an actual honest-to-God character arc. Lulu is not a character. And that's the problem. She's an exposition bot, mostly for Tifa, or for Tidus, excuse me. The other T. Yeah, my favorite in FF10 is Wakka, for more or less the same reason as Tifa. He's a pretty fleshed out character who has an honest-to-God character arc. And, I don't know, I admit I have a bit of a sucker point, stars and time, for a character who, yeah, no kidding, it's very strong, for a character who is wrong and arguably bad, recognizes it, and tries to get better. All three of those points combined are rare as hell, even in fiction. So I tend to value that when I see that in a character. And that's Wakka. He is wrong. He's a religious zealot who is a bigot. But he recognizes it, and he tries to do better. That's his arc. That's what he goes through. He stumbles, he struggles, he fails. I like Wakka. He's a good character. Most people say Auron is their favorite because he's cool. No judgment. Or Lulu's their favorite. You know why. No judgment again. I get it. But you know me. I'm a sucker for characterization. Yeah, Joe DiMaggio. Sorry, John DiMaggio. I always call him Joe because he used to go by Joe, and that's how I memorized it. And anyways, moving on. I would like to argue for a replayability positive for this game. Any arguments? Yuna's cool, too. Honestly, I like most of the 10 cast. I think the only really exception there is Kimahri, of the playables. Because Kimahri is just not a character in 10. He's not even a bad character. He is not a character. I'm thinking 1, yeah. That's what I was thinking about Wolfenstein. Yeah, Kimahri is a turn into whatever you want him character. And that's his character. Yeah, that's why I kept that saved, like Joel. I might go back to this at some point and just 100% it just for funsies. I doubt it, because I won't have time, but, you know. You never know, I might manage or master the hyperdimensional tube chamber, whatever it's called. Or just build a holodeck. I think that's it. I think that's everything. I apologize, Mister. I don't mean to be so boring. Is that 11? Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be pretty close to 0, it looks like, but that's not really surprising to me. I mean, calling Kamaria the Blue Mage is like calling Quistis the Blue Mage. It's true, but it feels kind of weird to say that, right? Unlike some characters where their whole shtick is being the Blue Mage, like, say, Strago over in FF6, or, I suddenly can't brain. Kuina, thank you. I was actually trying to say Kuina, and I'm like, what is their frickin' name? Anyways. Well, what's funny is FF6 actually has like 4 Blue Mages, or variants on the Blue Mage concept. No, really, think about it. So, hang on. I might have my numbers wrong, but we have Realm, Strago, Gao, and then I think that actually is it. So it's 3. We have 3 Blue Mages. We also have a Geomancer, which is a rare as hell job in the FFs. I could see Realm being a Beastmaster. I'm not going to argue against that. Also, one of the last. It's kind of funny. FF5 introduced all these new jobs. FF6 continued a lot of those jobs in different formats. And then they kind of walked back from that forever and never came back. Until like 14 or 11, I guess, actually. It's weird to think about. Edgar? Well, he's obviously a machinist, but if I had to go with like one of the traditionals, God, I'm not sure. Clive? Clive? Jesus, Bregwin. Okay, too dark. Too dark. Pull it back. Pull it back, Bregwin. Too dark. You know something funny? This game is almost to the minute as long as Silent Hill 2 was. I mean, yeah, FF5 story, I agree with you. It's not bad. I don't think it'll score bad. I don't think it'll be net negative, but it is there. Mary. Alright, so 13.2 hours. Yeah, no kidding, Ross. Plus 8 to story, which is fine. You know, that's a 100% ratio and 0.6 pluses per hour. All of that's the flavor. I'm just going to say that. The visuals, the style, the animation, the humor, the over-the-top silliness of the Errol Flynn thing. It's just a big, bombastic, swashbuckling game. And I'm actually totally with that. This is what I mentioned earlier, because there are other Freelancer games, good ones, including, you know, arguably Freelancer and Star Sector, as several people pointed out. But this is like the only one that really nails this particular vibe of just, yeah, let's go off and sail the Caribbean, you know? And that's where those come from. Gameplay, plus 11. So, the gameplay is simple, but good, until it gets rough. And that's what I'm going to describe this game as. I've already given all my thoughts on this, but to summarize in brief, the game, Baronessa coined this, the game hits the mid-game plateau pretty hard. Like a lot of games of this type in this era did. Early game, strong, lots to do. Mid-game, stronger, tons to do. And then that's it. Nothing develops or elongates on top of that, and you're just doing the mid-game over and over and over. At some point or another, it just starts to blur, and you stop having fun. And somewhere along the line, you just decide to put the game down, or you hit the timer. So that's why the gameplay is merely plus 11. That is a 65% ratio, which is actually kind of bad, and 0.8 pluses per hour, which is pretty good, giving us our final golden number of... me looking up the guessing sheet to see who won. Oh, that's funny. Is it? by 0.07, as in one person guessed closer than another person by 0.07. That's going to go to Shadow Machine. Final score is 40.93. Mizuno almost took that. And I will put that towards Hi-Fi Rush, Mirror's Edge, and Unicorn Overlord. Damn. Surprisingly decent game. Honestly, I was dreading this one a little bit because this is one of those beloved classics. And you know the kind of track record I have with beloved classics. But I enjoyed this game until we hit the plateau. I would highly recommend it to anybody who wants to play it and pick it out and try it out and just screw around for a bit, right? Be a trader, be a pirate, kill people, trade with people. You can't trade people. Just have fun with it. Yeah, it's also $10. Tomorrow, we play Super Lesbian Animal RPG, a game I know nothing about except what's in the title.